So I am Hemant sir. I am teaching chemistry and up to 10th class science. Okay, in science I am covering physics, chemistry and biology, all the science part. Okay, so I am Hemant sir. And we discussed in last class about the basics of chemistry. Okay, in that part we understood about how many elements do we have in our modern periodic table. So we have 118 elements beta, okay, in our modern periodic table, out of which, out of 118 element, 92 elements are occurs in nature, means they are naturally occurring, whereas rest 26 elements they are synthesized in laboratory, means they are man-made. They are man-made. Is it or not? Is it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Then again, like out of 118 element, 94 are metals, 17 are non-metals, 7 are metalloids. Okay, we have divided elements in 3 categories: metal, non-metal and metalloids. So what is metal basically? So in order to understand what are metals, non-metals and metalloid, first we have to understand the octet rule. The rule of 8 electron. It is also called as the rule of 8 electron. 8 electron. Okay. According to the octet rule, it states that every element must have 8 electron in their outermost shell in order to acquire stability. Means if element wants to move stable, it must have 8 electron in their outermost shell. If there is no 8 electron, so element may lose electron or may gain electron or may share electron with other elements. Okay, on that basis we are going to decide whether they are metal, non-metal or metalloids. Okay, so I want you here to take a screenshot for that from here. Tejaswini?
Yes, I took.
Done beta here? Okay, so I'm going to move further. Okay, so let's discuss about the sodium metal. So we know sodium metal have atomic number 11. Is it? That means sodium have 11 electron with it. Is it or not? So if we will write electronic configuration, so what is the electronic configuration of sodium? It is 2, 8 and 1. So sodium is having 3 shells, 1, 2 and 3 shells. So this is the outermost shell, and in outermost shell sodium have only 1 electron. But octet rule says in outermost shell element must contain 8 electron. But in case of sodium is having only 1 electron. So now sodium having two condition. What is the first one? First one will be whether sodium may lose 1 electron. Okay, it may lose 1 electron or it may gain 7 electron. Gain 7 electron or lose 1 electron. So what is going to be easy for sodium metal, a sodium element? To gain 7 electron or to lose 1 electron? What is going to be easy? I'm asking the question. Yes, to lose 1 electron. That means we can say sodium will lose 1 electron. Sodium will having 11 electron. When it is going to lose 1 electron from its outermost shell, now sodium is having only 10 electron, and at which it is going to like lose electron, it will acquire positive charge on it. It will acquire positive charge on it. Okay, so can we say that sodium have tendency to lose 1 electron? Is it or not? Yeah. So all the elements having tendency to lose electron are called as metals. Okay, here we have the definition. Okay, those elements which have tendency to lose electron are called as metals. Now we'll discuss about the sodium now. Okay, so, no, chlorine. So we know chlorine having atomic number 17. Chlorine have atomic number 17. So its electronic configuration will be what? It is 2, 8 and 7. First cell contain only 2 electron maximum. In second cell only 8 electron will present, and in outermost cell 7 electron present for chlorine. Again, octet rule says element must have 8 electron in order to acquire stability, but chlorine is having only 7 electron. So now again there are two conditions for chlorine, whether it is going to gain 1 electron, or this is the first condition. What is second condition? Whether it is going to lose 7 electron. So what is going to be easy for chlorine? To gain 1 electron or to lose 7 electron?
Gain, sir.
Yes. So it is going to gain 1 electron. So when chlorine acquires having 17 electron, when it gains 1 electron, then it acquires chlorine negative charge, and on it the state having 18 electron along with it. Okay, so can we say that chlorine have tendency to gain electron? Can we? Yes. So all the elements which have tendency to gain electron are called as beta non-metals. So here we have the definition. Elements which have tendency to gain electrons are called as non-metals. So for electron we are using that E negative sign. Okay, this E negative sign represents the electron. Okay, so those elements which have tendency to gain electrons are called as non-metals. Okay, like here we have non-metals, which are they? Phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, etc. Magnesium and aluminum are the metals. Sodium is the metal because they have tendency to lose electron. Okay, now we'll discuss about the third category of element called metalloids. Okay, metalloids. So metalloids are what? So metalloids are those elements, they have tendency or they have properties of both metal as well as non-metals. They are having properties of both. Okay, sometimes they behave like metals, sometimes they behave like non-metals. That means they have properties intermediate between metal and non-metals. That's why they are called as metalloid. Okay, so what are metalloids now? Elements which have tendency, or we can say element which have properties of both metal as well as non-metals are called as metalloids. Okay, and in our modern periodic table beta we have 7 metalloids. Okay, so here we have that silicon is metalloid. Okay, any doubt beta in metal, non-metal and metalloids? No, na? Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Tejaswini,
Yes, sir.
understood, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll discuss about the atom. What is atom, Tejaswini, according to you? I want to know your view about the atom.
So it's a structure, small structure.
Okay, small structure.
Tiny.
Tiny particle.
Yes, sir.
What about you, Devanshika?
Smallest particle which cannot be divided. Smallest particle which cannot be divided into.
Yes, the smallest particle of universe that cannot be divided further is called as an atom. Okay, Tejaswini?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, here we have some history. Again, I want you to take a screenshot for that part. Done, beta?
Yes.
Okay. So here we have that we discussed in last class about the atom. Okay. So what is atom basically? Okay. So about 600 BC. BC is the time before Christ, 600 year before Christ, and before Christ is that time, when the God of Christians called Isa Masih born at that particular time is called as BC, and 600 before that time is called as 600 BC. Okay, 600 BC means what? 600 before the Christ. Okay, that particular time, one of the Indian saint and philosopher called Rishi Kanad. Have you heard that name before? Tejaswini, Rishi Kanad.
No, sir.
So one day, what happens? He sat in down the tree and he was like doing meditation. That particular time, one of the leaf from the plant fell on his lap. Okay, and he just took that leaf on his hand and broke down into the two part. Okay, like this. Again, that half piece again he break down again it into the two part. Okay, again that half part of the leaf again break down into two part again and again and again, and he was performing that activity at that particular state where that particle cannot be divided further. Means he reached at that position where he was unable to divide that particle further. Okay, so he became very curious. All the particles or matter around us, they are made up of such tiny particles or not. So he was performing many experiment on whatever the object he find around him. Like on the soil, he performed the same experiment. Stone, bark, fruit, whatever comes in front of him, he performed same experiment all on the object around him, and he found that all the particle or matter, they are made up of such tiny particles, and he named that particle as Parmanu. Okay, and he gave the conclusion for his discovery. Okay, what was the conclusion? The smallest part of the universe that cannot be divided further is called as, he named that atom or particle as Parmanu. Okay, and different types of Parmanu form different type of matter around us. Like if we'll find around us the glass, so the particles or atoms of glass may be different. If we'll find the plastic, the particles of plastic may be different. Okay, so whatever the different kinds of matter we have around us, they are made up of the different kind of particles called Parmanu. And today's time, that Parmanu is nothing but the atom. It is the modified form of the Parmanu called atom. Okay, so now what is atom basically? So the smallest particle of universe. Okay, the smallest particle of universe that cannot be divided further is called as atom. Okay, and again, like all the atom, they may be like have different property. Okay, so let's discuss about the subatomic particles. See, atom cannot be divided further according to the Rishi Kanad. Even many like scientists came into existence, like James Chadwick was there, J.J. Thomson was there, Goldstein was there, Rutherford was there. Okay, many scientists came and they explained about different theories regarding the atom. Okay, so they again discovered subatomic particles. See, atom is indivisible particle, but still having subatomic particles, and these atomic particles are called as electron, proton, and neutron. Okay, do you know that, na?
Yes.
Yeah. So first particle is nothing but the electron. Okay, it is discovered by the J.J. Thomson in 1869 beta. In 1869, J.J. Thomson discovered the electron. Okay, and he gave some points. What are the points? Atom, like electrons, are negatively charged particles, means they have the unit negative charge in it. And what is the charge on one electron? And he named that particles as electron beta. Who? Sir J.J. Thomson. He discovered the negatively charged particles on atom and named those particles as electrons. Okay. So what is charge on one electron? It is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 Coulomb. Coulomb is the unit of the charge. Coulomb is what? It is the unit of charge. And he again explains about like mass of an electron is about 2000 times less than the mass of proton. Okay. And electron revolve around the nucleus continuously on its own axis as well as around the nucleus. Electron are revolving in different orbit or different path. These different paths are called as beta shell. Okay, and these shells are nothing but different energy level. Okay, so these are nothing but different path called orbit or shells. Okay, so who discovered the atom first? Rishi Kanad. When? 600 BC. Who discovered electron? Who discovered electron? Sir J.J. Thomson. When? In 1869. Okay. Electron having negatively charged. And what is the charge on one electron? Which is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 Coulomb of charge. What is the mass of electron? So mass of one electron is about 2000 times less than the mass of proton. Okay, and electron revolve continuously around the nucleus in different path called orbit. Okay, so this is all about the electron, which is the first subatomic particle. Okay. Okay, so again take a screenshot beta for that. Done?
Yes.
Okay, after electron, we discussed about the proton. Okay, so proton is the second subatomic particle. Okay, which is discovered or which is, yes, it is discovered by the Goldstein in 1886 to 88. Okay, and has given the idea that atom contain the positively charged particles also. He like unable to discover at that particular time, but he according to the theory and study, okay, and experiment performed by the Goldstein, he just told that atoms are having positively charged particles also. Okay. But in 1911, Rutherford confirms that atom have positively charged particle, and he named that positively charged particle as proton. Okay, he named those positively charged particle as proton, and he has given many points related to the proton. What are they? First, positive charge particles. Protons are what? Protons are the positively charged particles, which is having same charge as electron, but the magnitude is different. Value is the same, but magnitude is different. Means if electron have negative charge, so proton have positive 1.6 into 10 to the power 19 charge. Okay, it is just opposite of the charge of one electron. So mass of proton, okay, that we discussed, one atomic mass unit is nothing but the atomic mass of one proton, or no, we can say the mass of one proton, which is equals to one atomic mass unit. Okay, and which is now modified by the IUPAC as unified mass. Like if we are buying something from the market, like vegetables, if we are buying potatoes, so we are asking like, via potato, we want potato, 1 kg of potato. So we are asking for 1 kilogram, so which is nothing but the mass. Okay, but the atomic mass is very, very, very small unit. Okay, that's why for that small unit we are using the unit called atomic mass unit. Okay, next, Protons are present at the center of atom. Proton always present at the center, and that center of the atom is called as nucleus. Okay, it's called as beta nucleus. Protons are responsible for the mass of an atom. Okay, so protons are responsible for mass of an atom. Why? Because proton have about 2000 mass as greater than the electron. That's why we can say proton is the responsible for the mass of an atom. Okay, and very important point, number of protons are always equals to number of electrons. Very important. Why? Because atoms are electrically neutral, they do not have any charge. That means to neutralize the negative charge, positive charge must be there. Is it or not? Is it? Yes. So in order to discharge negative charge particle, proton have same charge but in opposite direction. That's why they cancel each other, and atoms are neutral beta. Atoms are electrically neutral. They do not have any charge. Why? Because all the atom, they contain equal number of proton and equal number of electron. Okay, that's why their total or resultant charge is 0. Okay, so this is all about the proton. So again, I want you to take a screenshot for that. So what we learn here, who confirmed, who gave the idea about the positive charge particle? Goldstein. When? In 1886 to 1888. But in 1911, Rutherford confirmed that the presence of positively charged particles, and he named as proton to those positively charged particles. Okay, the charge on one proton is about 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Okay, mass of proton is, like, for one proton have mass called one atomic mass unit, or it is also called as unified mass. Protons are present at the center of atom called nucleus. So proton, they are always present at the center of nucleus, and protons are responsible for the mass of an atom, and number of protons are always equals to number of electrons. That's why atoms are electrically neutral. So these are the very important point related to the proton. Take a screenshot, beta.
Took, sir.
Okay. Devanshi also? Devanshi?
Sir, we also.
Yes, in last class I already wrote. Okay. Now, what about the neutron? So, neutron were discovered in 1932, beta. By whom? By the Sir James Chadwick. Okay. So, in 1932, James Chadwick confirms that the presence of neutral particles in atom, and he named those neutral particles as neutrons. Okay, so what are the important point or key points related to the discovery of proton? Discovery of neutron. So the mass of proton is equals to the mass of neutron. Okay, see, neutrons are neutral particles, they do not have any charge. Okay, but proton have the charge on it, and which is called as one unit positive charge. Okay, one proton contain one unit charge, which is the positive one. Okay, next, neutrons are present at the center of atom. See, like proton, neutrons are also present at the center of atom, beta, and that center of atom is called as nucleus. Okay, neutrons are neutral particles, they do not have any charge, so they have total charge 0. There is no charge on neutron. Neutrons are responsible for the mass of an atom. See, the mass of one proton, okay, is equal to the mass of one neutron. Okay, that means they are having more or less similar atomic mass. Okay, so that's why for proton we are considering the mass of an atom is equals to the sum of number of proton and number of neutron. So their sum addition is nothing but the atomic mass. Okay. So take a screenshot, beta. Done.
Yes.
Okay. Just do revise all the points whatever we have discussed till now. Just do revise, beta.